Okay, so not Anurta, not Amenhotep III, not Gilgamesh. So the thesis of your book really is resting on Sargon of Akkad,
Yes.
as you've mentioned. And in your book, you take the reader really interestingly through five main categories of correspondence between the biblical life of Nimrod and the life of Sargon of Akkad. So you look at geographical and genealogical origins, military achievements, you look at building projects in Assyria, his lasting influence in Assyria, and then how he's legendary for his military exploits and his brutality. So, could you maybe take us through some of these ways that Sargon of Akkad corresponds with biblical Nimrod?
Yeah, let's start with the geographical and genealogical origins. So, let's just assume, for the sake of argument, that Sargon of Akkad, he's the right candidate. So, if he's the right candidate, what do we know about his biography? One thing we know about him is that he came from the city of Kish. Think about that for a minute. He came from the city of Kish. I won't go into a lot of detail, but in that early dynastic period when kingdoms are really starting to rise and kings are becoming more powerful and they're fighting with one another, in that period, one of the cities that quickly rises to great prominence is the city of Kish, oddly enough. And Sargon gets his start. How do you get from just a normal person to someone in a place of political importance, right? Well, he becomes the cupbearer to the king of Kish at a time when Kish is not maybe necessarily at its height, but still very, very powerful and a very important player on the chessboard of the ancient world. So now, cupbearer doesn't mean to them what you would think it means to us. We would think, kind of like a really lowly person. But the cupbearer has the equivalent in Egypt of a vizier, the second in command. That's how important a cupbearer is in Mesopotamia. So he has this really important position. And according to history, he doesn't take over as a king for his father, right? In most cases, a king comes to the throne because his father was the king. And so there's this physical succession that goes on. So we're convinced that he was a usurper. Why? Because in his name, he purports to be a non-usurper, a legitimate king. Now, if you're showing as your advertisement, I'm a legitimate king, what is that saying? You don't come from,
yeah.
You don't come from legitimate stock.
Yeah. I'm the real deal.
Yeah, there's no real deal here.
Yeah.
So he, by intrigue, he finds a way to the top in Kish. Now, think about who Nimrod comes from. His line descends from Cush. Now, as we spell it in English, ancient Kish, the city of Kish, is Kish. In the Bible, we usually write Cush for Cush. It easily could be a K. Doesn't have to be a C. We could have chosen a K. Just like with the ancient city, we choose a K. And vowels mean nothing in the ancient world because in virtually every ancient language, not only are vowels transferable, you can change the vowel from one language to another, but oftentimes languages aren't even written with vowels. Like Hebrew is not written with vowels when originally composed. So, Corie, we don't even know if we've got the right vowel class for the first vowel that comes after the K consonant.
Thank you so much for watching. We want to keep producing high-quality biblical content, but we can't do it without your support. If you feel called to support us, please click the link in the description under Donate. Your support really means a lot to us.